Here are some physical characteristics of the rainforest. A tropical rainforest is split into 4 layers. From 0 to 5 meters, this is the shrub layer, where there is a limited amount of vegetation due to the lack of light reaching the floor of the rainforest. From there to 15 meters tall is the lower tree area, where there are vast amounts of small trees competing heavily for sunlight. From 15 to 30 meters reside the larger trees of the middle layer, which experience even more competition for light as they are nearly within the top of the rainforest. From 30 meters onward is the emergent top tree canopy, where the tallest trees emerge and take up all the sunlight that they can. This layer almost always has continuous cover due to the competition for light. As well as this, plants in the tropical rainforest have many physical characteristics. Buttress roots in trees are bulky to support them, since many of the taller trees, which are 40 meters tall, will be heavily swayed from the top as they emerge from the forest roof. It is also worth mentioning that the roots grow out horizontally and not vertically, as the nutritious soil is only found within the first top few inches of soil due to the intense nutrient cycle. Another characteristic is how there are many leaves on plants, since there is a fierce competition for light as the top trees absorb most of it. Plants lower down will have many dark green leaves ready to absorb light when it emerges. This also doubles as a way to enforce competition, since the more leaves a plant has, the harder it will be for the plants below it to receive light. Leaves also have characteristic structures, such as their drip tip, which directs rainwater towards their roots and ensures a better chance that the plant will be further hydrated. Furthermore, leaves often have a waxy surface to let the rainwater flow across and away from them more easily. Lastly, similar to the leaves, trees have a relatively smooth bark to let rainwater flow to their roots, and the smooth bark also makes it harder for the tree's consumers to climb it and eat its leaves, giving the tree less threat. Moving on, it is worth noting the convectional rainfall as another characteristic of the rainforest. It occurs as the sun heats the ground and causes it to heat the air above it. This air rises, condenses, and then forms clouds which rain over the rainforest for many hours on end, every day, nearly all year. There is a great interdependence between climate, water, soils, plants, animals, and people in the rainforest. Going through that order. There is a reliance on climate due to a warm and wet climate needed for a lot of the organisms in the rainforests to grow effectively. Furthermore, a hotter climate usually entails a lower pressure, which causes more rainfall, which the rainforest needs. Water is as equally relied on as, for example, tribes like the Kayapo in the rainforest rely on the river water for daily transport around the land, and the whole rainforest relies on the tremendous amount of rainfall it receives to keep every plant hydrated. Soils are depended on by plants because they hold the root systems together, and because the soils are held together well, many species of insects like ants and beetles can thrive due to their habitats being well supported. Plants hold the soils well to stop them and the nutrients being easily eroded by the excessive rain. Trees are also heavily relied on by many insects and birds as places to settle, for example, owls, ants, and some species of bees. Animals are relied on by some plants for pollination, as there isn't much wind in the lower rainforest due to the heavy density of vegetation. Some plants are depended on to help the soil, for example, the Halloween crab, which brings leaves into its burrow, helping the soil get more nutrients. And finally, the rainforest in cases does depend on people, as tribes like the Kayapo have helped to live sustainably with the rainforests, and others have intimidated illegal loggers from deforestation, helping to maintain it. You will also need to know about how plants and animals adapt to their physical conditions. Animals will have their adaptations to usually better catch prey or escape predators. Some have fur that matches the environment, acting as camouflage to aid in hunting prey. Some, like for example the toucan, develop features, like in this case a large bill, to allow it to reach fruit on branches and cut it off. Some species of frogs have even poisonous markings on them to show that they are dangerous and to ward off predators. Plants will mainly have adaptations to secure their survival. Due to a lack of light, plants will have more leaves or darker green leaves, having more chlorophyll, to absorb more light better. Furthermore, some plants have physical defenses like spikes to stop predators eating the plant. Especially in the rainforest, plants will have great structural support to get through the intense downpour of rain. Lastly, there are also issues of biodiversity in the rainforest caused by climate change, deforestation, and other acts. Climate change increases the temperature and can make species migrate to other parts of the rainforest as they are cooler, making some areas more densely inhabited while others are sparse. This as a whole interferes with the interdependence of the rainforest. Climate change also interferes with the schedules of rainfall, which is a large problem, as plants cannot adapt to the change very quickly, and as a result, some suffer and die. Deforestation directly removes vegetation away from the landscape, putting some species' habitats in great risk, and this edges the species closer to extinction. Slash and burn is a method which has been known to happen, where trees are burnt to be removed, and this heavily damages the rainforest, as climate change is slightly accelerated and habitats are further destroyed. Monoculture farming is only growing one crop on the land, and this exhausts the soil's nutrients, which when left, causes fewer plants to grow there, disencouraging the growth of species and therefore biodiversity.